Bendites, Benditos, Bendalorians? Who are they? Are they good? Today's video, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of the Bend residents, and I'm not holding anything back.
Outdoorsy. Hikeable. Friendly.
Granola.
2 words. Beer drinkers. Subaru.
Californians.
So Bend is the 5th largest city in Oregon with 107,000 residents. It's also the fastest growing at 2.54% and an expected growth rate by 2029 of right around 125,000 residents or so. Resident median age is 38.8, and I am much older than that, so my job is to continue to bring that up. Race. So I'll let you do your own research, as it is a little bit of a touchy subject, but Oregon is not known for its diversity. But with the gaining population and the growing numbers, as we continue to see migratory patterns change, hoping that helps influence a little bit. Okay, so now that we kind of got that out of the way, what do the people actually like here in Bend? What are they fun? Are they stupid? Are they annoying? What are they? So here are my top 10 things you should know about Bend residents. Let's dive right in. Number 1, the best I've heard is Bend is like a real life REI. Puffy coats on top, Tevas on the bottom, usually shorts. But we do live for the outdoors. I'm no exception. I love it. It is one of the reasons I moved here. Paddle boarding, kayaking, mountain biking, skiing, running, trail running, fly fishing, flying airplanes, you name it, we've got it. That is what makes Bend just so spectacular. And man, if it doesn't look like we didn't just run off the mountain and jump into the 10 barrel and grab a beer. Most people have dirty faces and they almost look like affluent hippies. I apologize if I offended anyone, but that's who we are and that's what we look like. Number 2, which kind of goes in line with number 1, we are not the most fashionable people. We are definitely not suit and tie. We are blue jeans and chucks and t-shirts. Flannels are huge, Patagonias and Tevas, that's a big thing. But we don't, if you see someone walking down the street and they've got a suit on, you can tell they're definitely not from the area and they're likely just here for a wedding or something. So yeah, our Birkenstocks and sandals and flannel t-shirts, probably a beanie in the middle of summer, not uncommon for Bend residents at all. Number 3, for the love of the dogs, I also am no exception. I have a French Bulldog and I have a Black Lab, and I'm pretty sure everyone else in town does too. Love my dogs, but this town lives for dogs. Every single restaurant you walk up to has big old water bowls, and they welcome those pups with open arms. But make sure your pup, if you are coming, is socialized and friendly. We don't need any accidents or anything like that. But at the end of the day, this town is very dog friendly. So, dude, feels like just kind of a very traditional mountain town in that respect. Number 4, entrepreneurial spirit. There's no industry here. This was a mill town, but the last mill closed down in 1984, I believe. See my Bend, Oregon drama video. I think I discussed that. But what we are is the self-proclaimed work remote capital of the world. And this place has a ton of work remote people. Certainly for the lifestyle, as we've been mentioning in all of these videos. And if you visit here, you'll get it. We have we have co-working spaces all over the place. You walk into any coffee shop and you're gonna see lots of people just working from there. Even on Zoom calls these days, people have no shame whatsoever. They'll just do a Zoom call anywhere, they don't really care. So yeah, we have a very entrepreneurial spirit. There's a lot of tech startups here. Last I heard, I think it was something like 400 tech startups, and economic development for Central Oregon is a big incubator there. I think that's a venture capitalist term, incubator. So trying to get people to come here and grow their businesses, and a lot of them have a lot to do with biotech and rec. But at the end of the day, they're working very hard to help get people here and get people of different diversity and culture to help grow the community and also bring their ideas and their brilliance with them and help bring Bend, help build Bend up. Okay, number 5. So Bend is a family-friendly place. I think I read once that it was like the 6th safest place in the country to raise a family. Good school system, expensive, but good school system, and just a great overall family-friendly environment. I was fortunate enough to live in Hawaii for a couple years, and they have that aloha spirit. We believe Bend has that same vibe. Some people think it's the energy in the lava rock and that similarity. But at the end of the day, I just think it's the people and the fact that we see a lot of sunshine and it's fairly dry. That's what kind of makes Bend great. But it also, the school systems and just the people that have come here to help, develop it into a nice, safe place. Also, that doesn't hurt. Number 6, Teslas and Subarus. You will see a perfect medley of these throughout the area. It goes back to the entrepreneurial spirit. So you have the tech forward folks, those are usually the Teslas, and you have the Explorers, and those are usually the Subarus, and that's probably a great mix. So like we said, real life REI environment, forward thinking, tech startups, smelly, long hair armpits, also brilliant. Sorry if I offended you. And then the other benefit to those Teslas and the Subarus is just that we do see winter. So you have all-wheel drive vehicles here, and I think that's critical. I personally, my wife has a Volvo and I have a truck, but the Volvo is all-wheel drive. So definitely in agreement that Teslas and Subarus and just anything with all-wheel drive here for Central Oregon, as we do see some snow, in the winter, and it can get a little bit gnarly. All-wheel drive is definitely a critical part. Yes, number 7. We are not keeping up with the Joneses mentality. So here, people tend to have more money and they don't necessarily like to flaunt it. So here they like to come and just be a little more relaxed. And again, Tevas and Patagonias versus fun, flashy, bling, bling, big flashy cars and all that. Might have a nice house, might not know where that is, but at the end of the day, people with money just, they don't tend to want to keep up with the Joneses. So that's just not a very common thing here. Number 8, Bend does have a lot of implants. Along with growth comes growing pains. In 2015, Bend actually only had a population of around 86,000. And then prior to that, it was only like 56,000 all the way back to 2000. Once known as the best kept secret in the country, has caused a lot of Bend residents to either move to Redmond or move out of the area, as it's just got a little expensive. It definitely gives off the Boulder, Park City vibe. And that's turning a few people off. It just is. So I think some of the folks that have been here forever and the locals have just kind of moved to the perimeter, the outskirts, and they just don't want to deal with a lot of the implants that have come here. And with that comes tourism, right? So a lot of our economy is propped up on tourism, as we don't have industry here. We don't have a large company. The largest employer we have, I believe, is St. Charles. And the second one is Epic Aviation, the aircraft manufacturer. So at the end of the day, tourism props us up. And that also can be a little bit of drain on local Bend residents that are just trying to get through day-to-day situations. Number 9, the forbidden conversation, politics. I warned you in the title, I'd be honest. And there is a lot of difference of opinions in this town, even my office in particular. So some people just have strong opinions one way or another. And Bend is no exception to that. So we're going to look at Deschutes County as a whole on this one. It's slightly liberal leaning. In Deschutes County, 52.7% of the people voted Democrat in the last presidential election. 44% voted Republican Party, and the remaining 2.9% voted independent. Do with that information what you will. And number 10, final, thank you for staying with me. Do the people of Bend really hate Californians? No. If you've made it over to Reddit on the topic of Bend or Oregon in general, you've probably witnessed a little bit of hostility towards Californians moving here. The disdain for newcomers stems all the way back to the 1970s when the US economy was suffering from stagflation and Oregon was feeling the pain of high inflation and unemployment deeply. At the time, many Oregonians viewed Californians moving in as taking their jobs and homes and were pretty outspoken about it. That same situation tends to pop up a little more during harder financial times. But it's definitely gotten better. The spray painted car anomaly has since fallen by the wayside. While there may be some individuals in the state that still feel strongly one way or another, overall, Bend is a friendly, welcoming place with good vibes, and we tend to welcome everyone. I am a native Oregonian, and I've been here for 13 years, and I mean, my job relies on people migrating to the area, just like yourself, and that's why we're watching this video. So it's not the way it was, but it does still have that stigma, you know, how some things just stick around forever. And but no, we're much more welcoming than maybe back in the 70s. But the anti-California jokes are definitely still around. They still exist today. Maybe change out your California license plate to an Oregon one as soon as you get here. Just say it. Look, thank you. I promised I wasn't going to hold anything back. Definitely put me out of my comfort zone. You can castrate me below in the comments. You can like, subscribe, or unlike. Gosh, what do I say? That was a hard one for me. That was a hard one to say. If you can pay cash for a home, pay cash. If you are looking to relocate in the area, my name is Derek.meyer. I'm with Hixon Mortgage Company. I am a local residential real estate lender. And I'd love the opportunity to meet with you, connect with you if you're coming to the area, and see if we can help you get into a home here in Central Oregon. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I didn't offend you too much.